enough. It's funny because the Saturn version came out after the Dreamcast version, so like the Saturn version died.
I always thought that was Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2 was on the Saturn, 3 was on Dreamcast, but then I was doing this whole research and I was like, oh, what? It's on there?
Yeah, exactly.
But what really makes me mad though is just like the Saturn version is the most expensive version of Alpha 3.
It was one of the final games, yeah.
Yeah, like it's become pretty much a collector's item.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, if you want to play it now, you can play it on the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, which is, I feel, like a good bargain.
It's a great like bargain way to play.
Even if it's just for Alpha 3, but it's like you're getting so many good games in the collection. And it's on everything.
Including the original Street Fighter of all
and
things.
Switch. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Street Fighter 1,
So it's definitely worth it. In some places they have it for like almost between $15 to $20 now, so it's just a quick pickup if you somehow just really need to play Street Fighter somehow.
Yeah, and trust me, you're gonna save a lot of money. It's better to pay $15-20 for what, 30 games?
Yeah, right. I mean,
it has online play incorporated, correct?
It does have online play, yes.
And that sells it alone.
Yeah.
And it's better than paying the $150 for the Saturn version.
Yeah, so that's an option. Like if you have that kind of money to throw around, then by all means, get the Saturn
because
version.
I was trying to find it because I'm like, oh, it's the Japanese version. It'll be cheap, and it was like, nope. Because the first thing I came across, I thought by accident, was like the Street Fighter Alpha 3 soundtrack for the Saturn.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh wow, it's only $50, and then I realized, oh, this is the soundtrack. Damn it!
You poor guy. Oh man. So let's see here.
So next up is the Real Bout Fatal Fury special.
There we go. So
like
SNK really loved the Sega Saturn. Like
they supported it. Like they gave them a lot of good games on the system.
Yeah. So you got like your KOFs, you got like your Fatal Furies, you got like a lot of the ports. And what Real Bout is a retelling of the original like first 3 Fatal Fury games.
Yeah.
Put into one. And what was cool about it is while they brought back like the plane switch where you can go to the background and not, it's a lot faster. It plays a lot like, think of it as like a Super Street Fighter 2 with like background swapping. It had a simple like combo button system, but it was regarded as one of the best games in Saturn.
Yeah, and it's also like one of the good looking graphics for Saturn wise.
Yeah, like it looks great up there.
It utilizes both the carts, so you can use either or in order to find.
Yeah.
And if you want to play the game now, you can play it on the PS2, the collection.
Yeah.
Or you can play it on the PS4. You can download it, and I feel like pretty much the PS2 and PS4, you could either, depending on what you want.
Yeah.
You're getting a good deal. The Saturn version is still pretty cheap. I feel like the American version is getting up in price.
Yeah,
so
because when it comes
I'm just like just buy the collection.
You have a question back there? Hang on a sec.
Huh?
Action replay card.
Yeah, I have one.
God, that thing is, if I'm not mistaken, with the action replay, we didn't even have to, we could use it on the American system, if I remember correctly. Oh, man.
And then one of the good things about the SNK games, you have the option to switch over from Japanese to English in their options. So you can like easily just play all the games you want if you having trouble reading it.
And what's really cool about it is that playing those, like some of the actual pro action replays actually came with the 4 meg card like built into it. So
yeah, like in Japan, they were supporting it like a lot. Like almost every other game would have the card bundled in together, which I thought was a great deal. All right.
I'm just so nostalgic right now.
So next up, we're talking about Samurai Shodown 4.
Ooh, that commercial is so good.
And I feel it's a little ironic how like this is one of the best games that came out on the system, and we're getting some more love for it nowadays.
So
pretty much, the graphics are like arcade perfect almost.
Yeah.
The gameplay, everything was just so good about it.
The load time, again, like a lot of the Neo Geo games that came onto the Saturn, like the load time got like cut down by 2, so it was a lot faster. Samurai Shodown, like 4 in general, just had a faster system. So funny enough, it was one of those Samurai Shodown games that was actually combo heavy.
Yeah.
So you're not like, it's not so much you have to be patient. It was just more like, they try to like compete with the likes of Street Fighter, the likes of Darkstalkers, and just anything that was a much faster game.
And this game also, you can pick it up on the Switch and the PS4. It's downloadable, so it's easy access. The Japanese version, it's a pretty reasonable price to get if you want to get on this Sega Saturn. There's also like they made a bundle with Sega the Samurai Collection on the Sega Saturn. It's like so many S's.
Yeah, I was gonna say interesting.
But luckily. And some self-plug almost in a way, is the Samurai Shodown has pretty much has made a comeback with its new game, and it's freaking amazing.
It's pretty great. Like he and I were just playing it the other night, and
some crazy antics happened.
It was so nuts. I had to record stuff. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me with this? And if you haven't tried out the new Sam Show, seriously, it's over there in the main room.
Yeah, it's worth playing. If you're a Samurai Shodown fan, if you're not a fan but are interested in getting into something samurai, because I feel like this is the year of the samurai.
It's the year of the samurai. Like every game is a samurai game that's been coming out.
Yep. So it's been getting.
Weeboos rise up.
Yeah. So Sekiro.
Oh no.
Now we're gonna talk about some hot garbage.
What's up?
Fucking place. Fuck trash.
Final Fight Revenge. Oh God. I'm sure we'll get to there, but first,
let's talk about Rise 2. It's Resurrection.
Resurrection Rise 2, man. What?
Wait, Rise of the Robots got a sequel?
Rise of the Robots got a sequel. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the face.
So the only good thing about the first game was that Brian May of Queen did the soundtrack.
And they advertised on everything.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in every magazine.
Every
like
magazine.
Game Pro, Game Fan, EGM, and I was like, it just like had that like advertisement like a car because there were like, slick robots. You're like, oh, that's gonna be so cool.
And you know, like I was like 13, but I knew damn well not to pick. Like
I didn't like it at all. And the funny thing is like this game was supposed to be like kind of like Donkey Kong Country, like 3D rendered, graphics.
Yeah, pre-rendered. It was supposed to be like the Street Fighter killer.
Yeah, that's what they kept marketing it.
They're like, guys, this is better than Street Fighter. If you like Street Fighter, play Rise of the Robots too.
Like, in
this game, you can play not Glacius.
Yeah.
A robot. Another robot. There's one other robot.
It's like if you want to play a robot game, like you're better off playing Virtualon.
Yeah. Virtualon's more of a fighting game.
And Cyberbots.
Cyberbots is really good.
Yeah. So
like,
those are like some better options.
Like Rise 2's hot garbage, dude. Like
it is.
I freaking hate this game so much.
And
let me Rise gets me so heated. I'm so mad I hate Rise 2 so
luckily it hasn't got like ported or put on anything important.
One Must Fall 2097 maybe?
Yeah, like I remember that game. Epic Mega Games made a actual fighting game back in the day with like pre-rendered graphics and robots, but that was actually good.
Yeah.
So, shout outs to you for that bonus, dude. Holy crap! Not many people heard of that game. Yeah.
I have a question.
Fair enough. What's the game called?
Rise 2? The other one?
One Must Fall. One Must Fall, 2097. Like, it was one of those PC games that was like shareware, so you technically got it for free, but like, if you want more levels, more characters, call this number. Get a free 17 floppy disks. All right. What's also in the garbage pump?
It's Fist. It's a 3D fighter. It's one of those games that like you're kind of tricked into buying.
The cover
is like, oh wow, that looks amazing. And,
Jesus Christ.
And you see some of like the 2D art, you're thinking like, oh yeah, like 90s, anime characters.
It's gonna be fast. It's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be variable geo.
And then when you get to the actual game, you're like, ooh, this is
30 seconds ago.
Right.
this is hot garbage.
It's
Guys, have a good one.
all right.
You too, man. Thanks.
Yeah, this is like it was trying to be a Virtual Fighter, and it did not work out so well.
So it's like Virtua Fighter is pretty much considered the god of 3D fighting games. Like it's the one that started it all.
Just how like Street Fighter,
Yeah.
you know, made a bunch of copycats, and then Mortal Kombat made a bunch of copycats. Virtua Fighter made a bunch of copycats.
And like barely half of them actually worked right.
Yeah.
Like this one, I've only like seen the game in action. It makes
Apparently, I also was learning while doing this it's part of actual its own little series. It's called the Pretty Fighters.
Yeah, like that's what I kind of thought.
And it's actually the prequel to it. It's on the Sega Saturn as well.
No, that's right.
And it actually looks better, but doesn't play as good as other fighting games. You know,
like I've had experience with this series because like I'm like, oh, these graphics are neat. This reminds me of the Sailor Moon fighting game.
Yeah.
This is probably gonna be pretty fun.
because this is technically it's just all it is a port from the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All it added was a few extra stuff. Like had anime cutscene because like that's what they love to do on the Saturn.
At the time, we had like FMV, like we had videos. That was like the future at the time. That was awesome.
Which they should have pushed out a lot more.
I was gonna say, yeah.
If they would have had that cart added in there. But yeah, like the funny thing is like Fist. I feel like it's a complete pass. You're kind of better off playing the Pretty Fighter for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah.
But it's also on the Super Famicom, so you could probably just and they're easy to get because you can just download the ROM.
Yes.
I recommend the Super Famicom version.
Oh really?
Famicom version is actually worse.
It is worse. I'm not sure about this one, but it's pretty slow. It's way slower than
Okay, I guess just.
But that's the thing, like compared to Fist, it's like you're kind of better off with those two. But compared to fighting games, it's like it's kind of those things like check it out if you feel like it, but you can just pass.
I'd rather get slapped in the face than punched in the dick.
Yeah. Next up is Battle Monsters.
Oh God.
This is one of those 90s games that copied off of Mortal Kombat. And they were trying to be cool, and they're like, hey, can I copy your homework?
so good.
Yeah.
Dude, the Jackie Chan fighting game is better than this, dude.
Yeah.
Jesus, like.
Yeah, like even back then, like I was like, no.
I rented it once. First of all, it's a claim on there, so it's either good or really, 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 really bad. It wasn't good, so maybe one or the other.
It was just I just looked at it like it's just a Mortal Kombat ripoff because I'm like I had it and I was like, yeah.
What would you say is better, Star Wars fighting game on
The PlayStation.
Final Bout or this?
Final Bout.
Final bout.
I would choose Final Bout over a lot
I'd rather
of
play
shitty games.
Let's take away Final Bout.
Damn.
Okay. now there are going to be one. Okay.
I think
So Battle Monsters and Star Wars.
At least Terrace Cross is kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's funny and iconic sense. This has
Yeah. I think I
I
would
guess
rather
I'll
play
probably,
Star Wars.
I will probably pick Star Wars because I actually played that for a bit. And I had a good time mostly because I was goofing off fighting in that.
Yeah.
So this is that bad then?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Like I was actually gonna make a comparison also to what's her name? Katsumi Ninja.
Kasumi Ninja. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Yeah, like it's
Damn
like
it.
if you think if it's that bad, it's like
Oh my God.
it's a battle of hot garbage there,
That's
there
what I'm
too.
saying, bro. Like, if you want some hot garbage, I mean, I'm glad these games came out in America, but meanwhile, Japan was having all the good shit.
Yeah, like that's the thing. We got gypped over like for so many games, and it's like we'll get like the shitty stuff, and they keep all the cool 2D anime games, and they just wouldn't release it or translate over here for us. So yeah, this is a game that you can just like pass.
Ugh. Next. Let's see here.
Next up is Crit Cop.
Oh my God, I've seen nothing but advertisements for this.
I remember seeing this in the back of like Game Fan and the EGMs. Like this is a game that like tricks you again, like the Rise of the Robots. You're thinking like, oh, it looks cool on the cover, but in the game it's like,
Plays like friggin' hot steaming snot on a fucking summer night.
Like even for 3D graphics, it wasn't that good for back then.
Yeah.
It was trying to be different. It was trying to do like RPG elements in the game.
Like.
And one of the things that I can actually say, the good thing about it, like for its time, it really had a good opening. Like for graphic wise, it was like for it's kind of FMVs that you would see.
Yeah,
it's all 3D.
like, again, it tricks you into thinking that everything about this is going to be so animated, so cool. Just like this is going to be the next thing because everyone tried to like contest with Virtua Fighter, like with like Soul Edge, with Street Fighter, like everything. But
Yeah,
They
I
just
feel like
missed
this will
the soul of
be
it.
up there with like the 3D fighting weapon games like Battle to Shinden and like Soul Calibur, Soul Edge, things like that. But this thing was just like, it was just bad, like gameplay wise. Like the enemy, you couldn't change the difficult settings, so but the enemy would always just spam their specials. They block everything. They were just super duper cheap.
It's like you press a button, like the game already knew what you were doing.
Yeah, like pretty much some good ways of beating the AI was ringing them out or just stalling for time. Like
I would rather play Battle Arena Tochina than this.
Yeah, that's actually, I would have picked that over
Just
this.
saying, dude.
And this luckily never got brought over to any other systems.
Because they're definitely missing out, I guess.
And I guess on a little nitpick that you can actually, for this game, it's actually made by the same people who made Fear Effect.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
I completely forgot
So this
about
is one of those games that I guess they're like trying to learn, you know,
Yeah, like
the
I
whole
guess
3D modeling.
I ignore
stuff
their
back then.
I ignore their bad game just so I could play Fear Effect. Also, I really love Fear Effect.
Yeah, like if you had to pick between these two games, Fear Effect was the game you pick, and
I'm playing Fear Effect.
pretty much stay away from Criticon. So it's like you're like, nah.
Oh god, next.
Next is Savaki. It's a 3D, like a UCF.
Yeah,
UFC,
I've only
like-
watched videos on it. Like,
Yeah,
you see how
UCF.
this is. Like this, I've only seen videos on it, man.
It's, I look at it as like a poor man's like virtual fighter, like, and it's very, very basic and vanilla. Like,
Yeah.
The first thing that came to mind when I played
no.
this was freaking the fighter maker. Because it's just like so simple, like your characters, they don't have no name, no personality. All it is their fighting style as their name.
I remember like we were talking to Brandon about this like so many years ago about how we were all
I had fighter maker.
Yeah, we
I
were
was very
fighter maker.
disappointed.
I'm like, I can't wait to do this. And then, like,
I'm a no character. You
after
see.
4 hours, I'm like, oh god, I hate this.
I had a character, all he did was stand, his attacks were like this.
I had like I had a female martial artist, and all she did was this weird like ankle breaking spin kick. I'm like, I'm an animator now.
Yeah.
Pay me money.
I feel like I would want to maybe try it again because I'm older and I know, a lot more
Now that
stuff.
we know how things work,
And try maybe Fighter Maker 2, see if that's any better.
The same people who made Fighter Maker for the PS1 made a much better version of Fighter Maker for the PC. Just stick with that.
All right. But if you're looking to play like cage fighting in a much better and funner way, you can actually just pick up the Yakuza games.
You just pick up Yakuza.
If you want to play in the cage match and do nothing else, then play that.
This is what it is. Like, if you want to play a bad 3D like fighting game, instead of that, just play Yakuza.
Yeah.
If you want to play cage match, hey, just pick up Yakuza. If you just want to play Virtua Fighter, hey, just pick up Yakuza.
Yakuza has everything.
I guess what I'm saying is Yakuza is just like the end-all be-all of everything at the end of the day. So, I mean, like, this guy gets it. I'm just saying. Yakuza's so good.
All right, so now we're going to go over the underrated games. Like pretty much like the games that are some people know about, but not everybody knows, or they just think like it gets a bad rap, but they just haven't really like played enough with it. So don't laugh. So Street Fighter the movie is actually surprisingly good on the Saturn. Like
all right, guys.
And I know like back then I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's just another like Mortal Kombat ripoff because they're using the whole digitalized characters and stuff. And I played it now and it plays pretty smoothly. Like it's your what is it, Super Street Fighter Turbo?
It plays a lot more like Super Street Fighter
I had
Turbo
no
than the Saturn
problems
version.
doing any of the characters' moves. It's all super basic, down, forward, punch.
Because
You can easily
essentially,
do
the arcade
moves.
version was done by a completely different team, and it was hot garbage. So, like, a lot of people were scared to play it on the Saturn, and honestly, aside from the fugly graphics, it plays like Street Fighter.
Yeah, because of the arcade, it gets a bad rap for being a bad game in the movie. But I feel like the movie's kind of becoming a little cult classic.
Yeah,
thing
right.
Because it's better than the Legend of Chun-Li movie.
I'd rather watch Street Fighter than King of Fighters the movie.
Yeah.
What's up?
But is that really a high mark?
Not really.
It's a C student, guys.
I'm a
He's doing his best.
The C student's not bad. It's doing his best. All I know is at one point, Street Fighter the movie, the game was codenamed Street Fighter 3. So they were trying to push this as the third Street Fighter at one point.
Well, it's a good thing they did.
Yeah, thank God.
I heard supposedly the points are a little harder than compared to like Street Fighter 2.
I don't think so. Like I played with different characters that I knew how to do their moves, and I had no problem.
Yeah, like the command.
I felt like it was a slight delay, but I feel like that was maybe my fault.
Yeah.
But no, I won a couple of matches, and I thought it was pretty solid. And I feel like it's a game that you could probably just play with friends, just to fool around. It's not something you could take serious.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see a side tournament of this. Maybe we should start one.
I would prefer playing the arcade version because how dumb, stupidly broken it is.
Oh God.
Like 3 short hits in a row.
That's so stupid, dude.
It's like no balancing at all.
Nice balancing, bro.
All right, so next up is Ragnargard.
Oh,
it's
man.
a Neo Geo game that was also ported over to the Sega Saturn.
Remember this?
It has a small roster, but they're all based off like deities and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. It uses the graphics kind of similar to, I want to say Killer Instinct maybe.
Yeah. I remember playing
It's a little hard to look at now, but if you're just like looking for a good time and just kill, fool around.
Yes, sir.
Looks like a Japanese version.
Yeah, it kind of has that.
It's essentially the same aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah, but this is a 2D fighter. You can actually play it easily on the PS4 and Xbox downloads.
Yeah.
And they're pretty cheap. Yeah.
It's not bad,
Because
actually.
if you're gonna try to find the physical cart for the Neo Geo, you're paying like $200 because that's already expensive.
Yeah.
The Sega Saturn version it's still kind of expensive. I want to say like 80. That's import.
That's not bad, all things considered.
But if you're, just want something to check out, I would say download it digitally. PS4 and Xbox. If you want, just download a ROM as well.
Yeah.
So you can just try that.
Is it on the Switch?
No.
No.
That's why I only had those 2 images.
Yeah. Let's see.
Next one is the Astro Superstar. Like this is a game that I think is really like fun and unique in its own way because I really like the graphics. The whole time you're fighting is in the air, so like to me it reminds me of Dragon Ball. Just fighting in the air, doing crazy stuff.
It was the same team that did Waku Waku 7.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, like where Galaxy Fight was the first part of the Sunsoft trilogy.
Yeah, this is
Waku
part of like
was
a
the second.
little
And this
trilogy.
one, it's the third one where like you have all these goofy ass out there anime like tropes. Like you have Santa's helper,
the elf.
Yeah, the elf. She's right there. Then you have like the main characters is
Lettuce.
flying cocky dude. Yeah, Lettuce.
That's his name.
That was his name.
Lettuce.
And like the graphics always stretched out when you did like super like stupid combos, and it was so crazy.
And I think it's funny because like in Galaxy Fight and Waku Waku they had like a bonus character, Bonus Kun.
Yeah, Bonus Kun.
And this one they had Test Kun, which is all it is a little stick figure that you see in the bottom right over there. He's blue. So I think that's kind of cute how like they add that in there.
It's a hard to find game too.
And it's expensive too.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
It got re-released in the Sunsoft trilogy collection for the PS2.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the cheap way if you want to purchase a physical copy. But also, I feel like if you just want to play it, MAME is pretty much your best way to play it on the system or a Sega Saturn emulator.
Because it's really fun. I really wanted more people to play it even back in the day, but like, it was just so damn.
I feel like it gets overlooked because it's like very cutesy anime. For its graphics.
And at the time, like anime was still like considered underground, so of course everyone
back in
ignored
the
it.
90s.
Yeah.
So this next one is Sonic the console.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
And this is another. It's a 2D fighter. It has very like anime style, for 90s.
Yeah.
It's like
it looks like
with
Gal
big
Kaiser.
eyes.
It reminds me of Gal Kaiser.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, Gunbird. Yeah.
But I like it. It has a lot very bright colors. The graphics for it is like 3D backgrounds, but 2D sprites.
Yeah,
so I kind of like that mix.
The technology was starting right there, where people were starting to add like 2D characters into these just to make it like a mix of realism, but also keeping it like anime style, which you would go to see in games like Blade Blue
and this is another like game where like kind of like in Fist, where like you're drawn in by the cover. You're like, ooh, that looks good. But then when you play it, it's kind of like one of those things that like, are you an anime fan to like it enough to keep playing?
It's kind of like Evil Zone.
Yeah,
like
because that's what I feel like. If I would have saw this game back in the day, I probably would have passed on it because I was like, oh, I don't like the art style. But now, as an anime fan, I would have like, yeah, this looks interesting. Let me pick it up.
Yeah, now I kind of actually want to own a copy. Just
but sadly, like, it's only on the Saturn. And if you want to buy it, you're looking at like $180 up.
Especially since Banpresso now like went under recently, so like anything with the Banpresso logo, I'm sure like will skyrocket up.
Yep, it's just kind of like when you see Atlas on any kind of old game.
Oh my god. Old Atlas games are expensive, dude.
Just because the name dropped on it. But pretty much, if you're gonna want to try this out, I would say emulate it. It's the best way.
What else we got there?
Your favorite game?
Yeah.
7. This is one of my favorite games just because of how over the top and goofy it is. Yeah.
It's all about Better Joseph. Oh, you mean the Adventures of Danny J? Like every character is some sort of goofy like anime parody.
Yeah, as a trope of anything. I love Rai because he's a shonen character.
He's a typical shonen. I love Arena for obvious young boy anime fan reasons.
Yep.
And that and she had like the best uppercuts. A great QC design in her theme song like played like vocal like lyrics. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy in a fighting game. And each character has like a Waku Waku ball, which is totally not the Dragon Ball. Yeah. And it was just all over the place. There was like no pure direction. It was just pure madness. You even had Totoro there as like a fighting game character.
Yeah, you had your typical tropes like a badass little swordsman.
Yeah.
You know, your cutesy animal.
Yeah. You have the robot maid.
Girl of a maid.
Yeah.
Your JoJo type character who's also like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
You know?
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his thought name. Indy J is what he does on the side of the streets. Like the game was so crazy. There was like an evil giant like bat demon
like all you're fighting
Fernandez.
It's a black ball.
Yeah, and he just smiled at you, and it was creepypasta before creepypasta even happened.
Yeah.
But if you can find a copy of this game, like you can download this on the Switch.
Yeah, you could download it. On the Saturn, it's actually a pretty decent price. You're looking at retail price, $60.
Yeah,
like the problem is like buying it when you have the money, or when you're placing a bid, then you lose the bid, and like it's like super annoying.
You speak from personal. Okay. Like all I can say is you have the Switch, download for $7. It's worth it.
Yeah, and it's also on the PS4. You can download it, and what, $7.99?
Yeah.
So that's way better.
Yeah, exactly.
So this category is like, I feel it's games that should have been on the system for fighting. I just feel like the Sega Saturn and Sega just missed out like so much potential of bringing games to it.
Yeah.
Some unique stuff. And I feel like the first thing would have been an obvious choice if they didn't have a goddamn other title they could have done for this.
Like Sonic the Fighters.
I punched tails into the fucking
So this is a game that at one point was planned to have a release of the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, like it was supposed to be, I think, a late release for it.
Yeah,
which I'm like, you guys should have just done it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You barely had anything.
Because at the time, the Saturn was already on its way out, and what the origin of the game was, like someone at AM2 was just or AM3.
They're playing around with the
just playing around with the sprites, and then somehow Yuji Naka like went by, saw what was going on, and said a Sonic fighting game would be hilarious. So they just greenlit it and just said, okay, well, here's Sonic on the Fighting Vipers.
I feel like this would have been a good game, like after Virtua Fighter, like a mid-release.
Yeah.
You know, later in the year, so they would have more time to play it or around with it, and then maybe they could have balanced it on this system.
And Lord knows the Saturn was dying for Sonic games.
Yeah, like they had all the Sonic Jam, Sonic 3D Blast, and I'm just like, if they would have had Sonic the Fighters on there, it would have I feel it would have kept the system going a little bit.
Yeah, who knows?
longer.
Maybe would have gotten a second Sonic the Fighters and have that as a money match over at CEO for a side tournament or something. All I'm just saying is I'll school fools in here in this game, man. $10 money matches, let's go.
But with this game, I feel that it's luckily enough that it's easy to get. Like, you could download it to play. You can emulate it.
Yeah.
But I feel personally that they should do like a reboot or re-release, like physical copy on like the modern system.
I want to see a playable version of Honey the Cat in the modern era.
I feel like we should get like some sort of Arc system maybe attached to make a Sonic Fighters. Hell yeah, like we got, all these anime games are doing well. Maybe we should get like a video game.
Yeah,
fighting
seriously.
game that's already kind of done. The groundwork's already laid out.
You want a licensed game done? Just call an Arxis, man.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
That's what I feel like they should do. And I feel like it's a perfect
The
opportunity.
Kill plays, it would be in how Sonic Fighters would have played now, actually.
And they can use so many modern characters
what's
too.
up?
I was saying it'd be perfect to release this alongside the movie when it comes out.
Oh God, yeah, there you go. Release the fighting game alongside the movie, because the last time that we had
Imagine if they did that, but nobody went to see the movie because this came out and they just stayed home to play the game.
It's almost like if you played King of Fighters 12 at the same time as King of Fighters the movie coming out. Moving on. Great.
So,
man.
I feel that the Saturn needed Streets of Rage on their system. We got Streets of Rage 3, it was the last one.
Yeah.
They had more than enough characters that they could have made a fighting game, I feel, for the system, and it would have been good. I kind of picture somewhat they could have done the Final Fight graphics, or maybe the Die Hard, or even just do Virtual Fight, depending on who they use to make the 3D models. And I kind of feel like they could have also done maybe just to protect themselves in a way, maybe just call it bare knuckle both in America and Japan, so that they'd be this is bare knuckle, the fighting game.
Or they can do the same thing that Resident Evil did, just call it bare knuckle
Streets of Rage or something.
Yeah. And if you're in America, just call Streets of Rage bare knuckle.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a good way to doing it. I feel like they could have done either 3D models, but it's a 2D plane, something like that. And I feel like this would have been good for a late release after they've played enough with the 3D.
It would have been one of those
games.
last games to come out for the console.
Yeah, and I feel like it would have helped them out so much. If they would have had it, because after 3 we have nothing, no Streets of Rage at all on all the Sega consoles. But luckily, the fans have been keeping it up with making ROM hacks and
the Streets of Rage remake, which is by far one of the best Streets of Rage ever.
But luckily, in the future, we got actually Streets of Rage 4.
Yep.
And hopefully with that, maybe we can see a potential fighting game, or if they use, a sort of versus mode in the game.
Oh, that'd be cool, because
like the Double Dragon does, when you unlock characters.
Because Streets of Rage 2 had a dual mode where you can fight each other.
Yeah, so that's what I feel like they should expand on that. And I would love to play with these graphics that they are now.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, there's just so many opportunities.
Yeah. And another game I feel should have been there is Bushido Blade. Because I feel it would have worked because it's 3D and and the roster was small.
Okay, get up here, boy. Come here for a second, boy. Come here. What do you got to say about Bushido Blade? What do you got to say about this, sir? What do you got to say?
Fuck Katse. All right. That's one. But I can agree. That actually should have been a Sega Saturn.
Because the only thing is I tried looking it up because I know it's done by Squaresoft. But I'm just wondering if if it was an exclusive, Sony was hey, make this game for us on our system only and nobody else's. If they didn't have anything like that, I feel this should have been on a Saturn as well.
And should have added 2 more characters as well, within the light and the heavy side as well. There was just too
maybe
much
a guy with a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm cool, you got a No Doubt You. Who could use it? One person. I'm who else can?
Yeah, maybe they could have they could have played around and make it where you select your weapon and your character, so you can mix and match depending on what style you like.
But they went better. They went to Bushido Blade 2. They got more variety, but that right there.
I feel like in 2 could have probably been a Dreamcast game. That would have been cool.
How about we just have that now?
I know. Yeah. Gotta learn how to hack.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, this is a personal because I really love Bushido Blade, and I just feel why wasn't this on there?
Dare you put that up. Got you. What's up? Oh yeah, we got the Blinkcast, but that's so limited. I almost got it. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh man.
And next up is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh man.
Because Sega and Yu Yu Hakusho were going 2 to 2 together for many years.
Yeah,
they were releasing games for it. There's on the Mega Drive, there's 2 games. On the Game Gear, there's 2 or 3 games, I believe.
And the thing about this particular game, the one on the Mega Drive, it has such an interesting history because technically, what if I told you that this game did come out for the Saturn, but under a different coat of paint, known as Guardian Heroes? Because that's what it is. It's Treasure, the guys who made the Yu Yu Hakusho Mega Drive game, just took the same engine, made it into Guardian Heroes. Years later, ironically enough, that same Yu Yu Hakusho game became Bleach for the DS.
Yep.
So it's all the same game, just different licenses.
And it's got the planes fighting, like in the Fatal Fury. It's got that way back then. They were doing that before.
They were doing that all,
way back in the day.
So like, it's kind of weird where people are like, I wish Yu Yu Hakusho came out for different consoles. Technically, you got your wish.
Yeah.
If you don't mind Bleach.
I feel that personally that because Sega was doing Yu Yu Hakusho games on both, the Mega Drive, the Game Gear, and I feel that because, like an example was Dragon Ball got the same kind of love too, and it did actually get games. So, but I feel like where's Yu Yu Hakusho? Where's that game?
Yeah, seriously.
And I feel that sort of like my imagination will be something like where the PS2 version, maybe like downgraded to fit on the Sega Saturn,
right?
And I just feel like at the time, like Yu Yu Hakusho was big, like both in Japan, and it was starting to become popular over here because people were just like getting bootleg copies.
Yeah, all the OVA
like,
and everything.
Wow, what is? Yeah, and the OVA. I love the OVA.
I liked it.
Like I thought that's what got me into it, the series.
Yeah.
But overall, I'm just like, damn, man, like Sega Saturn should have one. Like,
it would have been so cool to see all these crazy cool anime games on the Saturn because.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There is anime games on the Sega Saturn, but Yu Yu Hakusho isn't one.
Who knew? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
All right, and to wrap things up, let's see. Got a little treat. Some old school.
Hold up. Nope. Let's play this. Oh, Sega Saturn. Is the audio working? Oh no. The audio codec. Oh no, the audio codec. No.
I'm sorry.
Oh man. But like, that's a damn shame because like Sega Saturn was like pretty much that dude who just made sure that everything was going pretty well for the system. A little technical difficulty. Let me just distract you. Yeah, just play a shit from there.
One commercial where he beat up kids for not buying a Sega Saturn.
Yeah, every commercial he'll beat up a kid for not buying Sonic R, and I'm like, oh my god, he just judo slammed a dude. These kids are dead. Oh, give me 1 second.
In his final appearance, he saved Sega headquarters from like a missile, like fired by Nintendo, I believe. Like,
yep, that's right. Like Sega Saturn like gave his life just so the future of the Dreamcast would actually succeed. Which, yeah, know what we know now. Like, oh man, damn.
I guess it's probably like their connection. It's like playing badly.
It is what it is, man.
All right, well, sorry. I was hoping I could have ended on that, but
nonetheless, though, guys.
Yeah. We're pretty much done.
Actually, I have a question. For anyone who's actually played a Saturn or like any like cool fighting game on the Saturn, like, what are y'all's like favorite like games that would have been cool in Saturn or like anything like that? I was gonna ask what's some of your favorite Saturn games or anything like that.
I wish Project Justice went on Saturn.
Oh, Project Justice would have been awesome on the Saturn. You kidding me?
Or at least like another iteration of Rival Schools.
Oh, that would have been so good, dude. Like Capcom on the Saturn, like Sega and Capcom were like so close.
They're BFFs.
Like, I mean, that's why I was like so happy because like we have the better 2D games on there, so. People who are saying stuff like Darkstalkers 3 on the PS1, I'm like, it ran a lot better on the Saturn is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. But I just want to say thank you for attending our panel. Hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll do this panel again in the future and update it.
Yeah. So again, thanks for coming out, guys. We really appreciate it. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me.